Hello, real estate brokers. Today we're going to dive into a really important update from Google that I've been talking quite a bit about lately. This update is going to affect email deliverability and is set to take effect in February, so coming up in a couple of weeks. So if you're using email marketing as a form of marketing, you want to stay tuned for this. In October of 2023, Google announced a major overhaul to their email deliverability policy. And this isn't isolated to Google. Yahoo and AOL are on the same path, tightening their spam filters. So the goal is to fortify a user's inbox against spam. And they're already blocking, or I should say, Google is already blocking about 99% of unwanted emails. But Google is stepping up their game this year. And at the heart of this change is sender authentication. This isn't new. It began last year, and the aim is to ensure that every sender is verified. And so the result is going to lead to a dramatic drop in unauthenticated emails. And for users, this is going to lead to a more organized inbox. So let's dive in. Today, we're going to cover the 7 essential steps that you need to take to align with these changes and to keep your emails staying out of the spam box and reaching their intended target. So, step number 1, and probably the most important, is you need to authenticate your email. So, email authentication is more than just looking at your SPF records. It's going to include DKIM, DMARC, and these are just not acronyms. They are your email's passport to the digital world, and they ensure that these are in place to validate your identity and safeguard your emails from being marked as spam. So there are companies that can help you set these up. Also, you can go to to Google's page and find instructional videos there and instructional articles that are going to help you configure your email settings so that you don't end up in the spam box. Also, there is a free email tester that actually will look at all of your look at your settings and show you if there's any areas that need to be optimized. I'm actually going to link to that tester in the description box, so feel free to use it. It is free and it is safe. Number 2, you always want to include an unsubscribe link. So we know compliance is key here. We have to adhere to the 2003 CAN-SPAM Act, and so you want to make opting out easy, and we want to be respectful of people's opt-out requests. So this really isn't just about following the rules, although it is really important to follow the rules. It's also about respecting our audience and respecting their choices. So if somebody wants to opt out, make sure that you put that link in there, make it really easy for them to do so. And if somebody asks you to remove them, make sure that you are removing them from your email distribution list. Number 3, don't send spammy emails. So remember, when it comes to emails, quality over quantity. I know that there are people that say that they are sending emails daily or every other day. I don't typically recommend that. If you have a highly engaged subscriber base, then sure, you can send with more frequency. However, I would start on the safer side here. Emails should be a welcome sight in your recipient's inbox, not a nuisance. So ensure that your emails are engaging, ensure that they are relevant, and avoid using spam triggering words, which will land your email into spam. So you don't want to use words like cash or free or bonus or earn more money. Things like that are more likely to flag your email as spam. Also, try not to make exaggerated claims and don't use misleading subject lines, which are also going to harm your email deliverability. Before sending any emails, ask yourself, would I want this type of communication coming into my inbox? So a few tips on subject lines are, when you are sending an email, your subject lines for better engagement should be easy to scan. They should be written at a 7th grade level or lower. I think they say 5th grade is probably the most optimal. Keep them to less than 53 characters, and you want to keep them to about 8 words or less. You obviously want to keep your subject lines really, really positive, no use of spammy words, And don't use any words that evoke a sense of urgency. I know in sales, we're always taught to, or sales and marketing, we're taught to create a sense of urgency. However, we can create a sense of urgency without using those types of words. So if you're using words like act now or what are you waiting for, I would eliminate those from your subject lines. Certainly don't use any exclamation marks. Do not use all caps. Try using lowercase instead, because that can get you some really good results. As far as the body of the email, I would suggest keeping the body of the email to about 50 to 125 words. Keep it to 2 to 3 paragraphs. The average paragraph should be about 2 to 3 sentences, and the content should again be at or below a 7th grade level. Again, we want to keep the emails positive. Um, Here you can include some exclamation marks, probably like 1 or 2 would be fine. Try asking a question that tends to get a little bit better engagement. So I would maybe add 1 question in there. I would avoid using bold text. And we've always been told that you want to use bold or you want to bullet point your main points. But the trend is shifting a little bit. So avoid using bold and certainly italics. However, highlighting text recently has been the preferred method of having your text stand out as opposed to bolding it. I'm actually going to be linking in the description box to 2 sites that are going to have more tips and actually will allow you to test your subject line as well as test the body of your email to see if it's optimized. So those will be linked down below. They're totally free and you can use them to see if your messaging is going to resonate. Also very important is to keep your database updated. So database hygiene is very, very important here because if you're getting high bounce rates or hard bounces, that's something that's going to flag you as, or is more likely to flag you as a spammer. So make sure that you're regularly cleaning your list, that you're honoring opt-outs, and you're keeping the information current. And really, this is not, again, it's not just about staying out of the spam box. It's also about respecting your audience. And so if we can keep everything updated, there's going to be a higher deliverability there. I also highly recommend using advanced segmentation and merge fields. Personalization is the key here. So we're not going to just broadcast our message. We want to communicate our message. And segmenting your audience using merge fields will end up making each email feel like more like a one-on-one conversation. So instead of doing this shotgun blast approach where you're sending the same message to thousands of people, we can take a more highly targeted approach and make those emails feel much more personalized. Next, I would monitor engagement and monitor your analytics. So keep a tab on how your emails are performing. High engagement equals high relevance, and so we want to make sure to monitor, adapt, and ensure frequency aligns with audience interest. A good practice to follow is to send no more than once a week. And if you see engagement start to fall, I would even reduce the frequency of which you are sending your emails. Try to keep your spam rate below 0.3%. So that's 3 complaints for every 1,000 emails that are sent. This will also be vital in adhering to Google's spam thresholds. So although I will tell you that really staying closer to 0% is highly recommended. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that and adjust your frequency and your messaging accordingly. Finally, you want to optimize the email structure. And so balance is crucial here. You'll want to maintain a 60 to 40 text to image ratio. Okay, so we don't recommend doing image only emails, but keeping that balance of like 60-40 text to image seems to work really well. Additionally, avoid broken links, avoid excessive links. I would also avoid shortening links. So any software that allows you to shorten a link, I would avoid. Rather, I would use the link feature in my email automation tool. So I actually have a full guide that goes into a tremendous amount of detail on how to optimize your emails and optimize your delivery rates. You can get that on our website at www.mavericksystems.com. I'm actually going to link to it in the description box. So feel free to go there, download it. It's completely free. And this is going to help you stay out of that spam box, ensure that your emails are reaching their intended target, and ensure that your reputation stays intact as a safe sender. If you have any other questions, feel free to email us at info@mavericksystems.com, where we can teach you best practices in getting your message out to your audience. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.